Hello boys and girls. Welcome back to another English language lesson for grade 7. And today we want to look at subject and verb agreement. Say it with me. Subject and verb agreement. Let's dive in. And the first rule we want to look at in today's lesson is a verb agrees with its subject in number. What does that mean? Singular subjects take singular verbs. Now let's look at the example. The car stays in the garage. The car stays in the garage. We have the subject car. We have the verb stays. Now when we're looking at subject and verb agreement, the verb that ends with a S is singular. Now I know you're probably asking yourself, how is that possible? Now in subject and verb agreement, we have something different that happens with singular verbs. They end with S. Only when we're looking at subject and verb agreement. Example 2 states, the flower smells good. The flower smells good. We have flower as the subject and the verb smells. And the verb is singular because the subject is singular. Now there is an old saying, opposites attract. The rule for single and plural verb is just the opposite of the rule for singular and plural nouns. Remember this, when you match subject and verbs, you might guess that the word stays and the word smells are plural verbs because they end in S, but they aren't. Both stays and smells are singular verbs. So remember that when you're looking at subject and verb agreement. Now the second rule we want to look at in today's class states, the number of the subject, singular or plural, is not changed by words that come between the subject and the verb. Now I want to say that again and let me take my time. The number of the subject, either it be singular or plural, is not changed by words that come between the subject and the verb. For example, one of the eggs is broken. One of the eggs is broken. Now pay attention. The part of the sentence that states of the eggs is a prepositional phrase. The subject one and the verb is are both singular. Now mentally omit the prepositional phrase to make the subject-verb agreement easier to make. Because you're probably asking yourself, one of the eggs? And because you see the S at the end of the word eggs, you're thinking it should be R. But that's not correct. Now it states one of the eggs. So let's say we have 10 eggs. If we say one of the eggs, if you take that one is singular. So you can mentally omit the part that says of the eggs, and you realize if we're talking about one, that's singular, so the verb has to be singular. It's activity time. Let's look at a few sentences. We're going to identify the subject of the sentence, and then we're going to identify the verb. Let's examine a few sentences. The instruction says to circle the correct verb in each of the following sentences. Are you ready? Let's go. Sentence 1. Your friend talks too much. Your friend talks too much. Now in this sentence, the subject is, or I should say the complete subject of this sentence is your friend. Your friend, is it singular or plural? It's singular. Therefore, the verb must be singular. So the verb in this sentence that matches with the subject is talks. So let's read the sentence. Your friend talks too much. Sentence 2. The man with the roses look or looks like your brother. Now the complete subject of this sentence is the man. The man. Is it singular or plural? It's singular. Therefore, we must select a singular verb. And in this case, the singular verb is the word looks. Now let's read the sentence as a whole. The man with the roses looks like your brother. Sentence 3. The women in the pool swim or swims well. Let's look at the complete subject. It is the women. And this subject, is it singular or plural? It's plural. Therefore, the verb must be plural. Very good. And the plural verb is swim. Now let's read the sentence. The women in the pool swim well. Sentence 4. Bill drives a cab. Now in this sentence, the complete subject is Bill. And this subject, is it singular or plural? It is singular. Therefore, it must be followed by a singular verb. And in this case, the singular verb is drive. So let's read the sentence. Bill drives a car. Sentence 5. That red-haired lady in the fur hat lives across the street. Now the complete subject of this sentence is that red-haired lady. This subject is singular. Therefore, it must be followed by a singular verb. And that singular verb in this case is the word lives. That's correct. Now let's read the sentence as a whole. That red-haired lady in the fur hat lives across the street. Sentence 6. He cooks dinner for his family. Now the complete subject of this sentence is the word he. And the subject is singular or plural, class? It is singular. Therefore, it must be followed by a singular verb. And in this case, it would be the word cooks. Very good. Now let's read the sentence as a whole. He cooks dinner for his family. Sentence 7. The boys walks to school every day. the complete subject of this sentence is the boys, and it is plural. Therefore, it must be followed by a plural verb. And in this case, the plural verb is the word walk. Now let's read the sentence as a whole. The boys walk to school every day. Sentence 8. The football players run or runs 5 miles every day. Now the complete subject of this sentence is the football players, and the subject is plural. Therefore, it must be followed by a plural verb. And in this case, the plural verb is the word run. Very good. Now let's read the sentence as a whole. The football players run 5 miles every day. The football players run 5 miles every day. Sentence 9. The weather on the coast appears to be good this weekend. The weather on the coast appears to be good this weekend. Now the complete subject of this sentence is the weather, and it is singular. Therefore, it must be followed by a singular verb. And that verb would be appears. Very good. Now let's read the sentence as a whole. The weather on the coast appears to be good this weekend. And finally, sentence 10. The player on the basketball team bounces the ball too high. The complete subject of this sentence is the player, and it is singular. Therefore, it must be followed by a singular verb, and that verb is bounces. Let's read the sentence as a whole. The player on the basketball team bounces the ball too high. Now, I want to thank you, boys and girls, for participating in class today. I hope you had a great time. And I want you, even in your speech, to practice subject and verb agreement. I want you to be conscious of it. Until we meet again, I'm Sir Jared, and I'm out.